Heidi comes in from Finch, and that's how we saw him dominate against Sri Lanka to the short wide ones. His opening boundary to Aaron Finch, and the skipper's away.
Yeah, it kick-started that series, didn't it? He capitalised on the width down in Adelaide Oval, short square boundaries. He's got this in.
Lazim, who's the second most economical bowler to ever play international T20 cricket, so they got the guns with ball in hand. Oh, Finch says no to Warner, who just stumbled for a moment. And that was really tight. We'll have a look in a moment, none for 5.
Yeah, it was tight, but it was pretty clear, concise communication all around. Finch, quick call of yes, which Warner responded to, but then he very quickly said no, early enough for Davey not to commit fully. But for the slid, he would have well and truly been back safe anyway, so that was the key to that. It was quick judgment. You're allowed to make an error in judgment occasionally, particularly with calling between wickets, but he rectified the situation well.
Mohammad Amir has ball in hand. Great World Cup, 17 wickets at 21. And got 5 for against the Aussies as well. Taunton, 5 for 30. Exciting bowler, this man, Brett Leaf.
Yeah, best 4 for 13. Excellent economy and a good average. 58 wickets from 46, 27 years of age. He's exciting because he gets the ball to swing. And when you've got a left armer, they can shape the ball away, certainly to a left-hander batsman. It's very, very exciting. One slip in place.
Into the pitch.
He'll be lining up Aaron Finch's front pad here. Mohammad Amir gets the ball to swing back into the right-hander.
Plenty to play for the Australians. I spoke about it earlier. If they get a 3-0 result, which is a long way off when you're in your the first of a 3-game series, but potentially the number 1 position at the top of the rankings is up for grabs.
That is some shot from Aaron Finch. He just waited on the ball, dropped his bat on it, and all of a sudden the ball's at the rope.
It was an interesting transference of weight from Finch. I don't think he particularly went forward. Yeah, almost sort of just lifted the centre of gravity up in the batting stance. Really forward or back. From that position, the set-up position, just extends the knees just to allow that power and weight to get through the ball beautifully into the gap.
He didn't change his front foot once, did he?
No.
Often hear coaches say you have to get your foot to the line of the ball.
Slight bit of rain at the SCG. Hope that stays away because it's great innings coming our way here. Pretty tight. Warner whistles his way through.
We know 5 overs constitutes a match. Just been updated, none for 30. A little bit crook this morning, the Australian coach. What was wrong with him? I don't know. I was meant to catch up with him for a coffee and he brushed me off. So he was feeling a little bit average.
Brushed, was it?
Yeah. There's a hyper field. Good protection, as you'd expect, early on through that cover region, extra cover through to mid-off. One slip in, and there's usually that open vacant space on the leg side to the right-hander. Even, I know as a left-hander, it always was a temptation, Howie, to head that way.
At least the coach didn't tell you he was washing his hair and couldn't make it. Straight back down the ground.
It'd take about 30 seconds for Justin Langer at the moment to wash his hair.
Aaron Finch here. 7 deliveries faced, 9 runs. You'd think he'd be wanting for length there. When I mean length, the fuller length to go downtown. Mid-off, mid-on, both up inside the circle.
He looks like he's brewing here, Finchy, doesn't he?
He's waiting, I reckon.
Wants to go again, just to keep on par with that rate. Yep. Nice tight line there. But Amir just keeps him cramped up. Finch good enough to get the single after 2. None for 13, Australia.
Last over from Spider-Cam, Brett.
Yeah, it's good for the boys and girls at home watching to see how much movement goes around the crease. Some batsmen like to get deep in the crease. A little shimmy down the wicket there from Warner. Finch likes to get that back foot going back towards the stumps, generally off stump. Brilliant.
Quite dark. Looks quite dark again here at the SCG.
There we go.
Paradise.
Finch goes big. Does not even look at it after he makes contact because he knew right out of the screws. That's the first 6 of the innings, and it's a big one.
Well, you've got to admire the young girl in there. She's had a crack at it. Trying to outdo the boys. We saw a drop catch. I reckon a friend might have got it on the bounce. In the white. One hand. Oh, that's going to hurt the phalanges, that.
Pressure back on the bowler immediately. Oh, that's beautifully worked. Just overcompensated there. And he tried to bowl the slow ball, but it was over-pitched. Enough pace just on it for Finch. Time it beautifully through that mid-wicket region.
Beautiful timing. Watch where that front foot goes, outside leg stump.
That's more runs for Finch. 6-4-4 and a no ball called as well. So free hit coming. And if this game was to be further reduced, this is really helping Australia's cause.
Well, you think with size 18 feet, you'd like to get some part behind. Oh, that's tight as well.
Yeah.
And much luck go their way today, Pakistan. Terrific stroke.
Yeah, he's watching the ball really closely, I think, as evidence of the previous boundary to the leg side. Pace off delivery. If you're just watching it closely enough to make the adjustment to be able to still get the pace on through the leg side to along the ground, you're watching it very, very closely.
I saw Aaron Finch there saying to the umpire square leg, come on. He's concerned that there's rain in the area.
Yeah.
It needs to be 5 overs till the game's completed.
Yeah, and just on that point, Howie, we'll set up for the free hit.
Finch waits, hits it high into the Sydney sky. 6 more.
Oh, and the rebound off the chair. One hand, one bounce, maybe.
Jeez, he's got a massive piece of that. Absolutely smoked it.
Someone enjoyed it in the effects box.
Our cameraman wasn't around there. Sensing an early finish, perhaps, but real big pressure here on the big man, but just shovels it with the bottom hand. 35, I think was the total required off 5 overs. Well, they're going to get that, possibly this hit, but they've still got to face 5 overs for it to be deemed a match.
I think that's why Aaron was getting a touch frustrated with the delay, because the dark clouds are drifting across the SCG at the moment.
Deep in the crease. Might go again here, Finch. He's got that momentum.
Already 21 runs from the over.
He's hungry again, Finch.
30 from 13 for the skipper. Oh, this time down the ground. He's timed it nicely. There's a chase on. And there is our man with the mic on. Wow, Riaz doing some fancy work on the rope. They come back for 3. Third umpire might take a look at that.
I reckon that's 4. I reckon he's picked the ball up being outside the boundary rope.
Yeah, that's what I wonder, whether his last contact point with the ground before touching it was outside the field of play. I think you need to be inside the field of play. There he launches there from outside.
That's 4. Definitely 4. Foot is outside the rope, touching the ball.
And if his foot had been in the air at that
Yeah, but I certainly know from catching you can't jump from outside the rope into the field of play and catch it. So I assume it's similar to a play like that where it's ground fielding.
25 from the over.
Yeah.
Still one ball to come. And there's for Pakistan, he's chatting with the bowler, figuring out what's the plan from here.
So the approach now from the Aussies, now that they're 38, strategically block every single delivery. Don't get out. Make sure those don't keep whacking it to the boundary, because that's wasting time getting the ball back.
Unless it doesn't rain.
Shut up shop. Get the 5 overs in.
And then it doesn't rain.
And then you're in trouble.
And then you get nipped out.
25 from the over. Oh. And it's going to end up at 26 if Finch can scramble through. He does. So a massive over for the Australians. None for 39 from 3. Some big hits that over. A couple of sixes.
Yeah, they were monsters, weren't they? It's that deep setup that gives him the base to swing from. That's just good timing. Pressing it, and then he just went big. It's almost a baseball setup, isn't it? Baseball swing. Oh, good launching pad there. And into the outer stratosphere there. Good rebound, but Finch on fire.
You'd imagine Pakistan would stick with the quick bowls as well. There's no point them hurrying through these 2 overs with a spinner. So it's a game within a game, because the rain does look like it's coming here at the SCG. So if you're just joining us, we need 5 overs to get a game. Australia's beyond the par score already, if the rain was to come.
And Pakistan, they need to find a wicket or 2 just to get that target back up for the par score. Near. Pushing hard. Finch will come back. I think he does. So the whole momentum shift favoured the Australians, didn't it? Right from the moment that rain delay turned up. Here's some cheering in the crowd. I just wonder if that's the Pakistan supporters. The rain coming down. Wow. So maybe finally a little turn for the better for Pakistan. They're under siege. Ground staff are setting a land speed record running out there. Here comes the buggy. Fox production team getting out there to get all our expensive equipment.
Wahab Riaz is out in the middle. Not what we wanted for the game sense. Wahab, how heavy's the raining out there?
Yeah, it's a bit heavy. Wasn't expecting it, but can be a blessing in disguise for us.
yes, that's a good summation of the situation, Wahab.
Yeah, definitely. You never know. Like if it gets the rain off, then it's good for us, right?
Did you feel like when that first rain delay came in the batting innings that it did just sort of stifle the momentum that you had?
Yes, obviously. See, we were going really well, and then we have targeted a few of the bowlers who we have to go after, and suddenly the situation comes up, and it brings a little bit of pressure as well. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of if the rain is taking place on and off. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
So whether it just keeps coming or whether it just stops and the match starts.
Yeah, just one last quick one on that answer. Did you guys have a pre-game plan about targeting Adam Zampa?
Not really. We know that Stark is one of the best bowlers you have, but we can really target the other 4. So yes, we do have those all targets. How to plan who we have to go after as well.
All right, mate. Let you get inside there. Thanks again.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Nearly in the change rooms with him there.
Could have kept it on him.
There's a man destined for commentary when he decides to not play cricket anymore.
Yeah, that was interesting. Mitchell Stark, they acknowledge is the one that they probably need to be more watchful against, but they went after Zampa today. 1 for 30 off his 3 overs. Not the worst figures you'll ever see, and he's been brilliant, Zampa, but it was really positive play, wasn't it?
Yep.
And look, it was a big call to get Zampa in.
3.1 overs, none for 41.
Yeah, that was the opening delivery. A full toss and then another one to Finch. Big Mohammed Irfan, 7 foot plenty of him. And then Finch was the one. Beautiful transfer of weight, and then he just rocked onto the back foot. Decided to go big. 41 off 20 balls. It has truly been the Aaron Finch show. He's rocked to 37 off 16. David Warner's only faced the 4 balls out of the 3.1 deliveries, 3.1 overs that have been bowled.
Have a look at the playing cards. Nice little partnership, this one, continuing the damage they did against Sri Lanka. So for Australia, at this stage, if they weren't to lose any wickets, they only need 11 more deliveries to get a game and win the match. But the weather coming in doesn't look too serious. The last delay, though, we had was an hour. We'll get full confirmation about what needs to happen here to get a game in play and when we'd need a restart. Oh, it's frustrating, Brett. You come here to Sydney, you always tell me it's a magnificent part of the world, and it's raining again, just like the Test match last year.
Well, I reckon they should put some cricket grounds out in the west. I reckon you might see some rain. Herford, none for 31 off his 2, and Muhammad Amir, none for 9 off just 1.1 over